A while ago, I posted that I was not the biggest fan of my mom's primary care physician. And it's not necessarily I have anything against this individual, because I think out of the nearly year she's been going there, she's seen this particular doctor twice. We've seen either physician assistants, medical assistants, or one time we did a telehealth with a different doctor. But the entire practice is, I'll call it like a chain doctor. They're all over the country. And it's getting harder and harder just to find a doctor who has a private practice. They're in a franchise of some kind, at least available through my mom's insurance. And her previous doctor was in what I'll call a franchise, but we liked the doctor and the individual office. Unfortunately, that office closed down and just became like an administrative office, and then her doctor opened up her own practice, but does not accept insurance. It's like a membership program, and can't afford that. So we had to find a new primary, and this is the one that came up next. And we're in the market for a new primary because we have had it. Even someone who came to the house to take blood work said they are money grabbing, just trying to do all they can for more billing opportunities. And I want to talk about a specific instance within the last month that we are struggling with. I have my handy dandy paper planner. I don't do things on my phone. I have also like a planner on the computer, but I like to have, handy dandy planner. And I really like this one. I didn't come on here to market anything, but it's just all blank and it's big squares. And so I can just, write in the month and what we got going on and stuff. But I brought this with me so I can detail you the specific, just hang on. Okay, I'm in the month of August. So this was the month my mom got a UTI. And so we did a telehealth with them on August 4th to say, hey, I think I have a UTI type of deal. And they said, okie dokie. They prescribed something and then said, come get a cup to pee in and bring it back to the office so we can send it off to be sure. And we picked up the cup on Thursday the 7th and brought it back the same, day. And they took it off and got tested, and yep, you have a UTI. But they already rescheduled like a follow-up, and we did it. It was just to say, yeah, you have a UTI, continue on with your medication. Now, fast forward, and then on Monday the 18th, we did another telehealth because this is when my mom was getting those full body aches, and called the pharmacist, and it was being, we were told it was her cholesterol medication. So we had a telehealth set up from that Monday to say, hey, full body aches. The pharmacist said, get off the medication. Are you in agreement with this? And they said, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, you probably weren't the best candidate for this medicine anyway, but we gave you a low dose thinking it wouldn't be a problem, but I guess it's a problem. And said, let's schedule some blood work to just check your cholesterol because it hadn't been checked since she started it. So scheduled the blood work on the 27th. Now, in the meantime, the shoulder pain that she has was increasing. And we had told about the shoulder pain on that 18th appointment, and they just attributed it to the cholesterol medication. Well, we went to the ER on August 21st and then called August 21st saying, excruciating pain still. And they said, well, we don't have anything until September 9th to see you about that. Well, we took the appointment because the ER doctor said you're going to need an MRI and it's going to have to come from your primary. So we took that appointment. In the meantime, they then scheduled another telehealth unrelated to the arm for Monday the 25th to go over the urine sample again, even though they already called with what it was. They wanted to have a telehealth officially about it. But we already discussed it on a quickie phone call that said, yeah, you have a UTI, the medication you have will cover it. But then they scheduled an official visit for it. Meanwhile, still in arm pain, but the conversation was for the UTI. Now we're in September, now going through. She got the MRI on the 1st, and then scheduled the ortho for the 4th, and the ortho is also related in business to the primary. And then the 9th primary visit rolled around, but also they scheduled one for the 12th. And the 12th was to discuss the blood work. The 9th was to discuss the arm. Well, on the 9th, it was, hey, I'm already here. Tell me about my blood work. And they did. And then said, well, then what are we going to discuss on the 12th? Your general health. Why don't we do that on the 9th? And then after the phone call on the 9th, I said to my mom, tomorrow, we're going to cancel the 12th. There's no need to have the 12th. We've discussed your arm. We've discussed your blood work. We've discussed your general health. Called the next day and they said, oh, we've already canceled the 12th. Nobody told us they canceled the 12th. As of the 9th, we were told we needed the 12th. Then fast forward. That same day they call and said, we'd like to schedule for your 6-month visit. My mom's like, I need to see you every 3 months as per my insurance. I know, but we're going to schedule for a 6-month one as well. Why? Because after that 3-month one, we'll schedule for another 3-month one, which would land us at the 6-month mark. It's just over and over again. We get phone calls about scheduling appointments. This appointment can only discuss this. This appointment is to discuss that. And then after every visit, we get an automated phone call saying, would you like to take a survey about the service you've received? I can't keep track of all of the appointments and all of the reasons for the appointments. And then when you call to verify, what's this appointment about? They always say to discuss your health. Well, duh. But like what aspect of health? Because I've had 3 appointments in 1 month. That's a lot of discussion of my health. So, if this made no sense, it's because it makes no sense to us either. And I'm literally writing notes down, and it, you know the meme where the lady's looking in the math equations is around her? This is me when I write down appointment times and days and reasons. I'm sitting here going, I don't understand. So if this made no sense, welcome to our world. But I just had to vent it because it's just so crazy. But it's just for bills. And they always make sure that their telehealth is exactly at minimum 20 minutes because that's when they can actually bill. They have to hit a 20-minute mark for it to become billable. I guess under 20 minutes, it's just a chit chat. So this last telehealth to discuss yep, got an MRI. Yep, I'm working with the ortho. Oh, my blood work's good. We clocked in at like 11 minutes and she was just grabbing for straws here going, so let's reconfirm your medications. Let's discuss your activity level. Let's discuss how much protein you're eating. And then once the 20-minute mark hit, she was like, okay, sounds good. Bye-bye. So, yeah. Okay. Just felt like blabbing. I'll talk to you later. Bye.